We are rocking with vertical video today, legends, because this is the most convenient time for me to record a new video, instead of trying to edit around the ones that I wasn't happy with that I feel like are more confusing than helpful on days where I was trying to force content when it wasn't naturally flowing to me. So I'm going to probably have removed those by the time you see this one, and we're going to go with that. I've had a lot of suggestions for content ideas though. That's been super helpful in the months where I have not been posting, so thank you for that. Some of those are reaction videos, so I have a new setup on my laptop, and that's going to make recording and editing those a lot easier and just look a lot better as well, in my opinion. However, today I'm just going to go with one of the topics that one of you has commented on one of the community posts on YouTube for me to explain a little bit further, and that is action, when to take action, how to know when it's inspired action or whether it's forced action when it comes to being and allowing, right? And how do you know, I'll put the full comment up here so you get the person's exact words, but it was a great question, how you know that you're allowing and not avoiding. So like I said, this is a great question, and I understand how it can be a bit confusing. But before I get into the video, hey legends, I'm Cerise, I'm your self-agency mentor, and I help you remember who the fuck you really are so you can allow yourself to experience the things you want. All the things that you need to know as far as coaching and all of that jazz is down below. And of course, if you do get anything positive out of this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and or subscribe. It just helps push my videos out to more people. And if you'd like to comment down below just to help me with the algorithm, but you don't know what to comment, just put a sparkle emoji, because we're creating real life fucking magic on this channel. Yeah. I want to preface by saying, because I haven't spoken about my cheat codes specifically for a long time, while you don't have to do anything to make your manifestation happen, okay, including my cheat codes, what I have found with these, and what my clients have also found, and anyone who has just done them from watching my videos without any coaching have found, is that it naturally helps you be and allow. So that's why I always say, if you're going into them to make your manifestation happen, you're coming at it from the wrong intent, from the wrong place. And I'll just go over those for anyone who's new. They are self-concept work, but I teach it differently to how you've probably heard it. So it's not about I am affirmations. It's about treating yourself how you want to be treated. So if you want to be prioritized, prioritize yourself. If you want to be respected, respect yourself, etc. Because people treat you how you treat yourself. The second is nervous system regulation work, although I feel like I'm going to A, replace the word work in both of these with something else, because it can be a little misleading, and B, it's not just about nervous system regulation and nervous system desensitization, which are slightly different things, because you can be regulated and still very easily triggered by things. Not that that affects whether or not you can have what you want either, right? Again, what intent are you coming at these, even the cheat codes from? Yeah, you don't have to be regulated to get what you want. I have just observed and experienced myself personally, which we're all just teaching from our own experience, hopefully at least teaching from our own experience and not just parroting what we hear, that has helped me. I don't do intentional nervous system regulation anymore, okay? And what I also want to say about the nervous system, this is a long tangent, but I feel like it's helpful, is that the other two cheat codes, so the self-concept work and the one I'm about to go into, also have an effect, a positive effect on your nervous system as far as regulating and desensitizing it. That's why I say they work together synergistically. Nervous system regulation doesn't just happen from doing nervous system regulation techniques. It happens by a change in your behavior as well. So I'll probably mention more on that later on in the video. The third cheat code is feel good things. So doing more things that you enjoy. So can you sit at home wallowing, thinking negative things, being anxious all the time, rocking back and forth in the fetal position, and still get your manifestation? Yes, you can. Perceptually, that is likely going to make it feel more drawn out as to how long it takes, because time is a construct, it doesn't exist, right? Everything's happening now. But it's going to perceptually drag out the time frame for you in your experience as to how long it feels like it's taking, if that's what you're doing. Whereas if you're out and about doing things, enjoying yourself, treating yourself how you want to be treated. Again, all the cheat codes work together synergistically. So when you're treating yourself how you want to be treated, you'll naturally be doing more feel-good things, etc., etc. And then they help regulate and desensitize your nervous system, blah, blah, blah. When your manifestation finally shows up in the full capacity of how you want it to be, it's going to feel like no time has passed. Even though no time is passing because time is a construct and it's all happening right now. Okay, so I didn't mention those for a long time because people were coming at it from I have to do these, just like the techniques and the affirmations to get my manifestation, and I wanted to steer away from that. But if you can come at them from the right intent, they will be incredibly helpful for so many of you, like they have been for so many of you already. Okay, now as far as taking action, I have touched on this in other videos, but probably not for a while. So when you're just doing the things that you want to do, that can be, when I talk about feel good things, right? Usually I'm saying like focus on doing things unrelated to your manifestation, because a lot of times you'll find when you look back at the bridge of incidents that actually was somehow part of your manifestation, even though it didn't seem linked to it. And that's why it's so important just to do things that you enjoy in your day-to-day life. I do have a workshop on my website if that's helpful to anyone who's just like, I've looked after everyone else for so long, or I've kind of lost my identity when I became a mom, or when I started working my way up the corporate ladder, that became my whole identity or whatever. If you need a bit of help with that, there is a workshop. You don't have to get the workshop. It's just there to help people if they want a more practical sort of activity to figure that shit out and start putting it into practice. But yeah, a lot of times that will, when you look back at the bridge of incidents, somehow link up with your manifestation, or it will just take your mind off, not necessarily your manifestation, but like with the moments where you're trying to figure out like, how can I speed this up? What can I do to make it happen? Which is often when it backfires, because either, let me put it this way, taking the action isn't what messes it up necessarily. It's when you take the action and you're expecting it to have a certain outcome and that's not what you see in the initial moments, or it seems like it backfires, and then you start trying to like correct things. That's coming from a place of force and not allowing, right? But if it comes to like wanting your dream job, can you apply for jobs? Sure, you can apply for jobs. Just don't be disheartened if the initial response that you get back is that you don't have that job. I have plenty of videos on my own experiences where it has been a no that has turned into a yes, including specifically a job situation where I didn't initially get a job. That was just a maternity leave cover. All the way I spoke about it, even though I was pissed off about that, because I knew I knew I was the best person for the job. Everyone else knew I was the best person for the job. But the person making the call was someone who wasn't usually in our office very often. Why that was the person who was put in charge with making the decision, who fucking knows? But yeah, we went to someone else who was better at selling themselves, but they couldn't handle it. They buckled under pressure, and then they also found out that they were pregnant. So they couldn't finish the maternity leave cover, and then I ended up taking it over. The way I spoke about it after that, like after the no, was I'm the best person for the job. That makes no sense. Pretty much that's how I would say it. Or like when I would talk to my mom and be like, I didn't get it, but I'm the best person for the job. That decision makes no sense. This was before I even understood manifestation. And it genuinely didn't make any sense to me. So I ended up not only getting the rest of the maternity leave cover, but it turned into my full-time position until I went through corporate burnout. So that's a story for another day. There are other examples that I could give, just the one that immediately comes to mind every time I think of this, because it was so blatantly like you didn't get it. And I just remember how I was talking about it afterwards. And also when I was saying that to like my mum, for example, on the phone, people at work would come up to me and be like, you're the office manager. You know what I mean? Like they'd say that like it doesn't make sense that she's got the job because you're the office manager, as in like you already do a lot of this shit. Like why? You know what I mean? So people were reflecting back what I already knew to be true, but you also don't have to know it or believe it. You can just decide it. In the instance of an SP, this is like jobs and SPs are usually the ones people freak out the most about when they do decide to take action and it doesn't happen the way they're hoping it'll happen in the moment, or it seemingly goes the opposite direction to what they want. And then they start taking that on and making that mean that they don't get to have what they want, that they don't deserve what they want, that they fucked up, that they are a fuck up, that they like going down that route of things, which is not knowing who you are, right? It's not knowing or deciding who you are. So my general advice, although it's up to you, is if you feel like you have to take the action to make it happen, or you're taking the action to try and make it happen faster, it's going to backfire, not in the sense that you don't get to have what you want, but it's often going to show you something that you might not be at a point that you can persist through and be like, I don't know how, but that doesn't affect who I am or what I get to have. And so in that instance, don't do that. And when you're doing the feel good things and the other two cheat codes, that's going to be easier to just naturally happen. The other part of allowing is when people start showing up and showing you, whether it is a specific person situation, like romantically, or friends or family, as far as specific people, doesn't have to be romantic, or specific people are involved in jobs and things like that as well, or people are involved in all manifestations somehow, some way. It might show up in smaller ways before it shows up in the full way that you want, or it might show up as like a different person approaching you than the person you really want to approach you. Instead of seeing that as that's not what I want, allowing yourself to, like, you don't have to necessarily date someone if it's not who you want to date, but allowing yourself to experience the compliments that they might give or things like that. But at a larger level, when you start to experience what you want, some of you are so uncomfortable with it because it feels so new and so foreign that you talk yourself out of accepting it and allowing it. And so we also don't want to be doing that, right? So when you're in a situation where, and this is one I'm guilty of, and maybe I shouldn't admit it because it's kind of embarrassing, but in the past where, I wanted something to become more serious with someone, and I would be like snuggling on the couch with them. And we'd just be like doing that. And I'd start to think like, oh, they're going to think I'm boring because we're not really doing anything. Or what if I fall asleep because I'm so comfortable and they have other plans, and then they feel like they can't wake me up and I'm inconveniencing them? Or what if they wake me up and they say, hey, I've got to go to this thing, and then I have to leave because I was afraid of like feeling rejected in that moment, instead of not making that mean anything about me. Okay? So, and a lot of the time when I would not allow myself to just be in that moment, the feedback I would get from the person was, I was actually really enjoying just snuggling on the couch. And I'd be like, well, fuck, I was too. And I've just not allowed myself to enjoy that out of fear of what might have happened, what you might have said, how I might have felt had you said, oh, I actually do need to go to something. So that's another aspect of allowing as well. When you do get to a point where you're able to take action, even if it is in line with your manifestation, and even if in the moment it doesn't look like it's going the way that you want it to go, or even like it's backfiring, and you're able to still go, I'm still it. It's still mine. This is how it is. Even if you feel anxious or frustrated or sad in that moment, that is actually creating that resilience in your nervous system, that desensitization, which makes it easier to allow and just be going forward as well. That has been my experience. Let me just check that I've covered all the points that the person has put in their question. The person said that it feels passive sometimes just allowing. So again, you don't have to just be sitting at home doing nothing, although you also can. I'm very much a homebody. I love chilling at home. I like doing things sometimes as well, but I remember when I was on the dating apps and you'd see the people who were like, I like to be doing stuff all the time. I'm really adventurous and spontaneous. And I was just like, I can't think of anything worse. Once in a while, sure. But I loved, like, can we just snuggle on? It's okay. Like, we're not boring people if we like to just snuggle on the couch and marathon something we both enjoy and things like that. So if that is naturally who you are, you can totally do that. Some of you are doing it because it's not who you are. Like, if you had people to do things with, like, you probably do, but you're wanting it to be a romantic specific person, for example. So you could be doing those activities with your friends, but you really want to experience love. Sure, like still do those things. Don't wait for anyone to experience the things you want. But if you like just sitting at home chilling, you can also totally do that. And somehow, some way, your manifestation can come about. Things can happen in the most random, nothing's random, but random ways, okay, as far as how we perceive things in the 3D. So if you're naturally like more passive in the way that you live your life, don't fake being a more adventurous person to try and force love to come in because you think that's what everyone wants, like every guy or girl wants, depending on what your preference is, right? It can still happen. Like you still do your groceries and shit like that, right? You still go to work or whatever. Like you're still out and about somehow, some way. Not that that's the only way that you can connect with someone either. Obviously, we live in a very technological age, so that is also possible. And sorry, I just do want to go back to the inspired action. Sometimes we confuse forced action with inspired action. I know I have touched on this already, but I just want to reiterate. If you do it convinced that it's inspired action, it might be, even though it doesn't show up in the moment, like I mentioned before, that it's not going your way or that it's backfiring. It might still have been inspired action. What it really comes down to is, who are you being when you do it? Before you do it, go, who am I being right now? Am I the person who's trying to make it happen? Or if it doesn't happen right now, even though everything is happening now, will I make that mean something about me that says I don't get to have what I want or I'm not experiencing what I want?